a bit further along, and yeah, it's totally impenetrable. There's no way I can get along there. Looks like this is a place where all the local youths come and hang out, doesn't it? Let's go for a little walk. I saw something that made me think. Cool. Really a blustery old day today, and it's been cold as well. But this is a bit of a local video because yeah, it's all around the area where I live, and I saw this intriguing item, this intriguing thing we're now walking towards. Not too far to go. Well, I was driving along this busy road. This is the Ermine Street in Stratton St Margaret, Swindon. It's an old Roman road, and then I saw it. I was coming back from a shopping trip actually, and happened to glance across, and it caught my eye. Right, we can cross over. Quite a busy road this. So what did I see? Ah, yes, it's exactly what I thought it was. This is what I saw. Look at that, look. That is a piece of old railway track. Yeah, definitely. Lovely piece of old railway track. And this actually was the route of the Swindon and Swindon to Highworth Branch light railway. So actually at this point the railway would have crossed the Ermine Street just here, and just across there, that's where the Stratton Station was. Nothing to see of it now, of course. We'll take a look. Run across the road. That's a security booth, gated entrance, but that was, once upon a time, the Stratton Station. So I think to put it all into perspective, what I got to do really is walk to the start of where the actual railway began and tell you a little bit about it. So I'm making my way to the start of what was once the Swindon and Highworth light railway. Most of the line has been closed since the early 60s, but I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of some of the facts. Oh, look at the state of the litter. So it all goes back to the town of Highworth. It was one of the proposed routes for the Great Western Railway line, but it was rerouted to Swindon eventually, and Highworth never got its railway. Well, it did in the end, for a little while. So in 1873, the Swindon and Highworth Light Railway Company was established to build the line, but bad weather and obtaining finance delayed the start of construction until the 6th of March 1879. A very salubrious place to live. I'm told you can get a cheap 10 bag there. So just beyond these houses on my left is where the line ran. It ran all the way along. Now it's just gardens, and then it's an industrial estate, as you can just about see, I think. How things have changed. So I'm walking along to where the approximate line of the railway would have been. And it would have been somewhere, perhaps along where this wall is now, running in that direction towards Highworth. On the 5th of March 1881, the board of the railway board inspected the line and they found that significant improvements were required. And the small little railway company which set itself up to build this line, it couldn't afford those improvements, so it sold the line to the Great Western Railway, and then they undertook the improvements. Oh, it's windy, as you can tell. On the 30th of April 1883, the line was re-inspected and subsequently found to be in serviceable condition, and it opened. And on the 9th of May 1883, it opened for passenger services. The Highworth Branch line operated a service for passengers from the 9th of May 1883, and also it ferried the Great Western Railway workers from Highworth to the railway works in Swindon from 1890. It looks like this path takes me down close to where the line used to run. It used to run right at the end of these bungalows here, in that where the hedge is. I don't think there's a footpath there now, but we'll take a look. This is interesting. I might be able to get down here. Probably trespassing. Looks like this is a place where all the local youths come and hang out, doesn't it? But look, here's the branch line. It's still there. It's all fenced off. You can't get onto it, and you can tell it's completely overgrown, and no trains have run along it for a long time. But that's how nature has reclaimed the Highworth Branch line. Look. Oop! It's slippery. It is slippery. There it is. The Highworth Branch line. Anyway, let's get back up this embankment, because we're still making our way to the beginning of the line. That's if I can even get up this bank. Oh, it's slippery. I am sliding. It became popular as a goods line, as numerous industrial buildings were established to the west of the line, and also in 1916 there was Brummond munitions factory was there, so it was ferrying cargo and goods, etc., to supply those industrial sites. And again, it was important during World War II, when Stratton Station served the army camps in the area, and the spur was built to provide access to the new Vickers Armstrong aircraft factory. A passenger service was established for workers at the Vickers factory from 1941 to 1944, and also from December 1956 to June 1957. Yeah, following nationalisation, it didn't prove to be so popular as a passenger route, and passenger services were withdrawn, but it did continue on as a goods route for a little while longer. So I'm making my way down towards another part of where we can access the railway, but we've got this interesting old electric substation, old one, built by Plessy. Interesting. There you go, look. Squeeze the camera through the gaps. Yeah, control room. Stratton Blue, it says at the end. Bus section. So it was the 2nd of March 1963 when the passenger service ceased. As I say, the goods service continued on for a while longer. This is actually a part of the line we can actually get access to, because it ran across here. Incidentally, the goods service, it says, remained in service from Highworth to Kingsdown until the 3rd of August 1962. So here it is once again, the Highworth Light Railway, Highworth to Swindon Light Railway. That's looking down to the start of the line, which is only about half a mile that way. And this is the ongoing route where it went on towards Highworth. And you can actually see the line there, look. Just to think all that history went along these lines. Yeah, amazing how things have changed. I did a bit more research and I also found out that part of the line was kept open until the 3rd of August 1965 to supply Vickers, and then that was shut down, and the remaining part of the line, which lies just beyond this fence here, remained open to serve Cooper's Metals, the car plant, which is just there, and also a roundabout which is no longer here. There was a Pless's plant, a Pless's factory as well, but that's long gone. In fact, I don't think the car plant is served anymore by the line, although the lines are still in situ. We'll have a look at those in a minute. There's an overgrown sign up here. It probably said something to the effect of warning trespassers will be prosecuted, but it's all faded and painted over now. You can still see some lines through there, just see them. One thing I learnt about railway lines, often you get people, when they were on the trains, they would be eating apples and they'd chuck apples out, apple cores that is, and the seeds often set fruit. And look, we've got a beautiful apple tree here. I'm not sure what variety they are, but they are eating apples. And it's quite possible that one of the passengers or footman on the train was eating his apple, chucked it out, and that grew into a tree, and now I'm eating a bit of apple from that tree. Some quite amazing bushes and colour here, but it's one of those signs again. Look, this one's not been painted over. Warning, do not trespass on the railway, penalty £1,000. So that's a lot of money, and even a lot more money back then. Another hazard crossing, look. And this is the line which came into the car plant, and you can see it came from the Highworth and Swindon branch. It came down and it's no longer being used because they've just tarmacked over it, and it would have gone over that way somewhere into the car plant. Yeah, there you go, the car plant. Look, the car plant used to be known as Presteel Fisher, but it was I think it's BMW now, I think, but it's been all sorts over the years. Rover for a little while, I think. There's actually a set of points here, look, which I can get access to. Yeah, so that would have diverted the train into the car plant, and you can see the rest of the Highworth line over there. At this point though, we're only a few hundred yards away from where the branch line to Highworth branched off from the main Great Western line to London. Here you can see a good view of the line now. Not been used for a long time, there's rust on the line, and you can see the Cooper's Metal factory, or metal scrapyard I should say, just over there. I think it's good to come out and make these sort of videos, because you're recording a bit of history of what used to be here, and goodness knows what will happen in the future. Generally with progress they'll rip all that line up at some point and build something there. But no, look, another apple tree. These look a different variety. More of a red coloured apple. They're not big apples. I think it could be because we had such a dry year. Oh, there's some bigger ones over here. There's some nice ones up here. What do these taste like? Yeah, definitely a good eating apple. So this is Gypsy Lane, quite a busy road, very busy at times, and I'm walking uphill now because this is a bridge and the railway used to run underneath the bridge. You can just see how busy it is. You can see the bridge now. I'm on the bridge and looking over, there's the Highworth and Swindon branch line. Also got a good view of the scrap metal, Cooper's scrap metals. Certainly tons and tons of scrap metal there. There's a view of the Swindon portal, the Swindon side of the bridge. The railway line had its beginnings just a few hundred yards that way. Not sure how much I'm going to be able to show you of actually where the branch line branches off, but it's just along here. I'm literally within about 100 yards now of where the line commences, but I don't think I'm going to be able to see it very well. Hello. That's the main London to Paddington, Swindon line there, that way, but I can't see it. Yeah, that's what I can see. But I know if I put this camera up, you'll be able to see the line. I've got no idea what you're seeing, but hopefully I'm pointing somewhere in the direction of where the Highworth branch line has its beginnings, somewhere just around here. So this journey sort of began not quite at the midway part, and then I've come back to the beginning of where the railway starts, and now I think I need to go back to that midway part and then go on its outward journey towards Highworth and try and follow the route as best I can. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be because some of it's now on private land, but we'll see what we can do. I just managed to squeeze through the gates there. Look, there's a way in. You can see just how nature has reclaimed the railway. Totally reclaimed it. Some of the old railway infrastructure over here, look, we've got some concrete posts. It looks like they've, when they were dismantling the railway, it looks like they stacked a load of sleepers. Look at this, look. A huge stack of railway sleepers. Just quietly rotting. Probably take ages to rot because they were coated in creosote. There's more here. Crumbs, what a resource going to waste. You can still see the metalwork. Huge amount of ironwork right into this railway, what goes into all the railways. A bit of a further look along the track. What's left of the Swindon to Highworth Branch line. A bit further along, and yeah, it's totally impenetrable. There's no way I can get along there. Totally overgrown. As I say, it's been over 60 years since the train came along here. There's an old sign, look, obviously applicable to the train driver. He had to stop and await instructions. I think if he stopped now and waited instructions, he'd be waiting an awful long time.